Okay, everybody, my name is Lowell, and welcome to the channel. So we have another reaction video. This is going to be 25 bizarre facts about each US state. This is going to be part one. So let's jump in and let's have a look at this one, shall we?
I'm here to go through every US state and provide the bizarre things about them. Of course, we only do lists of 25, so this will most certainly be a two-parter. Ready to travel coast to coast in search of weird facts? I'm Mike with List 25, and here are 25 bizarre facts about each US state, part 1.
Okay.
#25. Alabama. Senator Dixon Hall Lewis was an Alabama Democrat and the heaviest member of Congress in history, weighing in at 500 pounds.
Oh,
He
damn.
served 8 consecutive terms before dying in 1848. The Senate made him a special seat, and his carriage had heavy-duty springs installed.
Wow.
24.
500 pounds. That's a big boy. That's
Alaska.
a big boy.
With unusually long summer days, Alaskan farmers can grow some crazy big
Is that
produce. In recent years, they've
broccoli?
been able to produce a 35-pound broccoli, gross, a 65-pound cantaloupe, and a 135-pound cabbage. 23.
Wow, that's a lot of broccoli. I love broccoli. I don't know if I'd be able to eat that much, but damn.
Arizona. There's a castle built in Arizona near Phoenix by a man named John Gully. What's perplexing about this castle is that he built the entire thing by himself over the span of 15 years.
Yeah, we've seen that in another video. Weird as roadside stops. Okay.
Moreover, he abandoned his wife and daughter to do it.
Oh.
No one knows why. Later, after his death, his wife and daughter were contacted by his lawyer saying they now owned the castle. 22.
Oh, they didn't bring that up in the last one. Interesting.
Arkansas. On the last day of 2010, 1,000 blackbirds fell out of the sky, dead in Beebe, Arkansas.
Whoa.
Authorities had their theories of why it happened, from high winds to stress-related trauma, but couldn't figure out anything conclusive. 21.
Wow, that's crazy. Maybe something internal, maybe. I don't know. Wow.
California. Okay. In 1859, San Francisco was home to the first emperor of the United States, Joshua Norton I.
Huh?
Or so he claimed in the Bolton newspaper.
Oh.
The editors published it as a joke. Still,
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure I can't remember the US having an emperor.
He paraded around the city pretending to be the emperor, and many began to play along, giving him free meals at restaurants and listening to his comical proclamations. He even made his own currency.
Oh, damn.
20. Colorado. Denver International Airport had a 32-foot blue Mustang sculpture installed in 2008. Officially, its name is Blue Mustang, but locals have another name for him. Blucifer. Why? Well, first off, it killed its
Look at the eye. Whoa.
Sculptor, Luis Jimenez, after part of it fell off and severed his artery. With its glowing red eyes and fierce demeanor, many believe it's demon-possessed. 19. Connecticut.
I was kidding. Wow, that killed the sculptor? Damn.
Once belonging to pioneering neurosurgeon Harvey Cushing, 550 human brains inside of jars were passed on and given to Yale University. A custom-built room in their medical library was made to house the brains.
Imagine accidentally going into that room not knowing what it is and be like, okay, backing out slowly.
18. Delaware.
Yikes.
A Delaware man's dying wish was for $10,000 to be dropped over the town of Lewis, Delaware from a helicopter. And a year after his death, they made it happen. The money was made up of denominations of $5, $10, $20, and $50. It literally rained money that day. 17.
Wow.
Florida. Oh, Florida. We all know you're full of weird and crazy things. In this case, Republican Rich Workman tried to have a 1989 law banning dwarf tossing in bars repealed, saying it limited employment options for little people. 16.
What?
Georgia. On New Year's Eve, roughly 4,000 Georgians head out to Tallapoosa to play games, listen to music, eat food, and watch a taxidermed possum named Spencer drop from a building as a countdown for the new year. This possum drop tradition was started in 2000 and has since blown up to be a huge event. Take that, New York.
15.
Damn.
Hawaii. Though the United States was born out of rebelling against the English monarch King George III, leaving a lasting culture against monarchies, Hawaii is the only state in the Union to have a holiday celebrating a monarch, King Kamehameha.
14.
Oh, wow.
Idaho.
Okay.
No one really knows where the word Idaho comes from. Before it was a state, it was called the Colorado Territory. Politician George M. Willing put forth the name Idaho, saying it was a Native American word for gem of the mountains. He admitted later that he made the whole thing up. Because of that, Congress initially shot the name down, but later it became so popular with the locals, they decided to officially name it Idaho in 1863.
13.
Illinois. In Chicago, Hull House has long been rumored to be haunted. But things took a turn toward the bizarre in 1913 when word spread about the devil baby living there. Locals from far and wide grew fascinated with this story of a baby that spoke all sorts of profanities and had cloven hooves for feet.
12.
Oh, that's all you're giving us? Just that little snippet? Oh, my God. Okay.
Indiana. In Kokomo, Indiana, some residents have complained about a strange noise that gives them headaches. Reports began in 1999 and described it as a low, persistent grumble that would only go away if you left town. Others had more extreme symptoms, like diarrhea and nosebleeds. Of the 45,000 residents, only a handful of residents have been hearers to the hum, and scientists say they aren't imagining it.
11.
So what is it then? Did they ever find out what it is? Come on.
Iowa. In Riverside, Iowa, there's a monument that reads, Future Birth...
Oh, yeah. I've actually heard about this. Obviously, I'm a Trekkie. I've heard about
place
that.
of
Yeah.
James T. Kirk,
Yeah.
March 22nd, 2228. When local Trekkie Steve Miller read Making of Star Trek in 1968, it said Kirk would be born in a small town in Iowa, but didn't specify which one. Like a boss, Miller proposed making Riverside the town at a council meeting. His motion passed unanimously. Since then, the town radically became Star Trek themed, and in 2009, it was recognized as Kirk's birthplace in the Star Trek remake film starring Chris Pine.
10.
Wow. Talk about, seeing a goal and getting it. Man, okay. Put his town on the map.
Kansas. In this state, on Highway K96 between the Bentley and Mays Road exit right outside Wichita, stands a tall tree considered a monument by locals. If you honk at it, you'll be granted good luck, or so they say. Locals love the tree so much that when it was threatened to be torn down in the 90s, they banded together to save it and won the fight.
9.
Oh, wow.
Kentucky.
Okay.
We all know about rainbows, but an even more rare phenomenon is a moonbow. During full moons on clear nights, you can see the moonbow at Cumberland Falls on the Cumberland River near Corbin.
8.
Moonbow. I've never heard of that. I'm going to have to look at images for that. Okay.
Louisiana. A Louisiana burial ground, famous for being home to psychic Marie Laveau, also has another bizarre tomb built by Nicolas Cage himself. Built in the shape of a pyramid,
What?
this white tomb has the inscription Omni ab uno, which is Latin for everything from one. No one knows why Cage built the tomb, other than assuming that's where he wants to be buried when he dies.
That's weird.
7.
Okay.
Maine. In the 80s, Christopher Knight drove away from home into the wilderness and never looked back. For 27 years, he lived a solitary life in the woods, surviving mostly by stealing things from local cabins nearby. He built an entire campsite and never once purchased anything or spoke to anyone during that time. After years of larceny, he was finally caught and arrested in 2013.
6.
Oh.
Maryland. The first Ouija board was created in an apartment building that now stands as a 7-Eleven. Elijah Bond and Helen Peters created the board, and even asked it what it wanted to be called. Bond grew such a close relationship with the board, his tombstone was made into one.
5.
Wow.
Massachusetts. In Gloucester, locals grease up a 200-foot horizontal pole extending from a pier with all kinds of slippery things, like banana peels, axle grease, and Tabasco sauce, among other things, all in honor of St. Peter. The pole is roughly 25 feet above the ocean, and contestants try to walk across it to reach an Italian flag at the end.
4,
Okay.
Michigan. It was 1983 in Detroit, and juvenile delinquency was rampant on the eve of Halloween, causing 650 major fires in the area.
Wow.
This led to naming the night before Halloween Devil's Night. Things reached a fever pitch in 1984 when firefighters had to put out 810 fires, and
Dang.
officials sounded the alarm to clamp down on the practice. Since then, government officials created Angel's Night, with concerned Detroit residents patrolling neighborhoods together to staunch out the problem.
3,
Wow.
Minnesota. In the small town of Dorset, Minnesota, 22 residents casted their ballots and elected a 3-year-old boy named James Tufts as their mayor. Tufts' philosophy on leadership boiled down to being nice and no poopy talk.
2,
Mississippi. It was 1942, and residents of Pascagoula not only had to worry about their boys fighting in World War II, but also a strange and eerie figure stalking the streets known as the Phantom Barber. As their population soared due to war material manufacturing, a mysterious figure broke into people's homes and cut pieces of their hair as they slept.
1,
Wow.
Missouri. During the Great Flood of 1993, 24-year-old James Scott purposely removed several sandbags from a levee, causing 14,000 acres of flooding and destroying many buildings in West Quincy. Why did he do it? He wanted to strand his wife on the Missouri side of the border so he could stay in Illinois and party with his friends.
Oh,
Scott
my
was
God.
convicted and received the maximum penalty of life in prison. So, what are some bizarre
Wow.
facts from your hometown? Let us know in the comments below, or tweet your answer to us at List25.
enjoying our lists? Be sure to click
I gotta say, that last one was crazy. I mean, life imprisonment for that probably deserved. That's a low thing to do, you know, just so you can party a little bit long. But some of those facts are pretty weird. I'd like a little bit more information, you know, like the devil baby and stuff. Like, well, what happened? Was it a real baby? You know, what happened? It kind of gives you that little bit of snippet. You can go away and kind of research it yourself. I've never heard of a moon bow before. I don't know. I'll have to have a look at that and see what that is. But that was very interesting. That was part 1. We'll have part 2 very soon, guys. Let me know if you enjoyed that. As he said, if you have something weird in your state that you know about, let me know down in the comment section, guys. Thank you very much for joining me today. Make sure you stay safe, and I will definitely see you in the next reaction video. Oh, you're still here? You want more content? Why don't you check out my Patreon down here? You'll get plenty more content and some exclusive videos over there too. If not, why not check out this one over here?